Okay, everybody. Let's see now. I should be live. All right, I am. All right, today we are going to be doing the how to protect your settlements from your settlers. We're going to, well, first of all, I'm going to mute my stream for myself so that I don't get feedback. The first thing we're going to do here, a lot of the people that I've been watching are having a lot of issues with their settlers stealing out of their containers. Settlers will, if your settlement gets attacked, will actually go ahead and take items out of your workbench, any workstations, and also out of any of your containers if the items in those have a greater attack power, or if that settler has a particular amount of ammo, a type of ammo, and the item that's in that particular workbench or container has a higher amount of damage. So, a way to prevent this is to lock your items behind a powered door. So what we're going to do first is we're just going to go ahead and create a little platform for ourselves. So I'm just going to create a warehouse floor here. Very simple, just a 2x6 area with a little entrance point, just like this. Going to give us some walls. There we go. Lock it all in. Alright. Make us nice and secure. There we are. And then we're going to put ourselves a door on the front. And then we're going to have just a very simple second floor here as our roof. Nothing too fancy. Obviously you can make this look however you want. Now the next most important thing here is we're going to go ahead and add on our powered door. Really doesn't matter which one of the powered doors you want to use. I personally like the blue one, but for right now we're going to use the red. Just simply because the powered door, this one here is a wooden one. That's good enough for right now. You can use whichever one you like. Obviously just make sure to put the door right over the entrance. You can use the concrete ones. Now sometimes you will have issues with snapping. It can be a little bit of a pain in the butt, as you can see. If that is the case for you, as it is for me at the moment, don't worry about it too much. You can always fill in the side gaps with concrete. So we'll just go in here and we will go to the concrete pillars and just bring them to the side here like this. And as you can see, that fills in your gap, and you can make that look as nice or as cruddy as you like. I'm really not going to fuss with it, just going to make sure that the sides are correct. So the next thing is people really don't understand logic gates. And logic gates are going to be our bread and butter of how this is going to work. So we are going to go to our logic gates, and there are a whole bunch here. on how they work. The one that we're going to use is called the XOR gate. So I'm just going to go ahead and hook up this XOR gate right here. And how this XOR gate works is if either of a set of switches is activated, then the XOR gate will connect. So we're going to take and wire this switch to the red input side. You can see here that the inputs are from either of these two, and the output is this black one. This will go to opening our door. Now we're going to need to provide this switch with power. So the first thing I'm going to do here for that is go down to our large pylon, drop our large pylon here on the ground, and then I'm going to go up and give us a nice little generator. Let's go over here to a fusion generator, which I prepared ahead of time. Slap that bad boy here, and just connect our large pylon to here. Now, we're also going to need to have a switch or a pylon connector over on this side, as we're going to be doing some wiring over here. So I'm going to go ahead and get that set up right now. And lastly, we're going to go ahead and connect this pylon to the top of that switch. So now, as you can see, when this switch is activated and turned off, the door closes, and when it's activated and turned on, the door opens, as a normal switch would. Now the next thing we're going to need is we're going to need to provide output from a switch that's coming from the inside. So how we're going to get input from the inside of this location to the outside of the location is with our power conduits, and we have something called a pass-through. Now there are two pass-throughs. There is a smaller pass-through and a larger pass-through, and depending, the smaller pass-through may not work. So you just may have to play around with it to see which one will. Usually the large pass-through is the easier one to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and just snap the large pass-through here. And then we're also going to need to have power going into our structure. That's to power our switch. I'm going to turn this around and just go ahead and run that power into our structure. Now we're also going to need to provide power, and the easiest way to provide power into a conduit is to have a conduit connector. From the outside, I'm going to just connect this conduit connector, provide it power from our pylon on top. From here, this is our output. We're going to want to go to our connectors. Let's just go up here to the edge of this concrete, connect this to the outside here, and from here, we're going to want to come over and connect to here, to our input. So for now, just ignore what's going on over there. My turrets will take care of it. For now, I'm just going to put a very simple conduit, power conduit here, connect that to our input side there, and then simply connect it wherever I can reach, which may have to be here, connect it down to our input. Now it's just a simple matter of a switch on the inside. So let's go to our switch, place our switch here at an easy access location, connect the power that's coming in from inside to the top of the switch. Now this switch, before we go any further, I'm just going to disconnect it. I want this switch to be in an off position before I wire it up. Because as you see, this is now in an on position, which has activated the door. I want, when this is activated, for it to close the door so they match. So from an off position, now I want to wire it. So let's go ahead and wire this up. And from here, we want to wire this to this pass-through. So again, we have to go to conduits. And this time we're going to go over to the ones that are upside down and pick the conduit junction. And from the top of this switch, go to that conduit junction. And now you can see when we activate the switch, the door closes. And again, when we activate the switch, the door opens. And when we come out here, the door closes. In this way, we can never lock ourselves accidentally inside. If somebody was to be able to activate that switch on the inside or on the outside, the only thing that would do was open that door. They couldn't purposefully lock us in here, as flipping this switch will always toggle the outside switch. In this way, this room is now completely secure. I'll show you this now as I grab my companion and tell her to follow. And what I'm going to do is simply activate this switch. This room is now secure. And my companion will attempt to follow me in here, but she is unable to. She'll attempt to come through the door, as you can see her right there, and she is absolutely unable to follow me inside. No settlers can get in here. They cannot activate any of the inventory that you place in here, so you are safe to place down any container you wish, and settlers or companions will not be able to loot it. I hope you enjoy this tutorial, and look forward to bringing you more tutorials in the future. All right, thank you very much.